Hi guys, we're back for part 2 of the 36 questions that lead to love. So, set 2. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, your future, or anything else... Oh wait, I gotta turn the air off. Whatever, we'll just keep rolling. If... We'll pause in the middle and... anyway, if a crystal ball could tell you all the secrets, what would you want to know? And I said if there's any consciousness whatsoever after death, and if there's any such thing as a collective consciousness, if we're all connected in any way, or whether we're just drifting separately through existence, just like bouncing into each other, or whether, normal stuff, life after death, meaning of life, that sort of thing.
That's deep.
I don't know. I think it's pretty average, pretty normal.
I said, how long I have to live, just so I can, fulfill my life properly. I mean, essentially, even without, knowing how long we have, we should live, every day's our last, but you know how it is, in the real world. So, yeah, it'd be nice to know, how many years I have with this treasure man. And just, it would be nice to have an insight to the future and how much time I'm investing into the present, and just everything I do in my day-to-day life, and whether it's going to turn out to be a success or just time gone by, I think that's something that many of us wonder, whether it's in our friendships, relationships, business, work life, all of that. We want to know, are we investing years of time into something that's going to end up as a failure, and could we foresee whether that would happen or whether it would turn out to be a success or not?
Oh, that's a really good, very practical. I mean, yeah, because people, they waste time in their lives, but they don't necessarily know it's, people say, oh, I gave so-and-so person the best years of my life.
Oh, who the fuck says that shit? I gave him the best years.
I don't know. I mean, you're young, so you wouldn't understand, but when you give your whole 30s to someone, it's it's very painful. Anyway,
I understand. I gave 3.5 years to a total asshole.
Yeah, I know. Wish I could have been there, but of course you were a little too minor back then.
Oh God! Just pretend you didn't hear that.
I mean, I know it's cool in the UK, but anyway, moving right along. Is there something you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? Your turn again.
If there's something I could have dreamed of doing in a long time, why? Traveling. I haven't done a lot of traveling, purely because, I'm 19, so I haven't had much opportunity in my life, and then, when I turned 16 and I got to an age where I could possibly do a lot of traveling, I had my daughter, so it limited the ability to do that. But I traveled a lot in my childhood, which I'm very thankful and grateful for. However, I'm hoping there's much more traveling to come in my future. And that's something that's limited for a little while for me. So I look forward to the days when I can travel freely.
I wanted to take a martial arts class for a long time, and I actually signed up this. Actually, she said for me to wear this T-shirt, and this is for my Muay Thai studio. Although, because I got surgery, I'm kind of out of commission for a couple of months. I can't if I take a kick to my abs, it's all over. So, so that's kind of cool, and it's harder than I thought it would be, physically and emotionally. It's just. I don't know. I think when I was real young, I kind of had this fantasy that, I'm going to take martial arts and I'm going to get instantly confident and, but that's kind of not how things work in the real world. And I also wanted to be a chess national master, but it's just so much work, and I just haven't been putting in the work that I need to achieve that goal. So, I don't know. And I still have to think about whether that's something I really want to do, because it's a lot of work. If I had the ultimate focus superpower I talked about in the last video, that's one of the things I would do. And I would learn another language, probably Spanish. And yeah. Okay, so what's your greatest accomplishment of your life? So I go first because I went last, and you go twice. I said raising Mara, and even though, I've learned a lot, and there's a lot I would do differently, but yeah, it was just so rewarding, taking care of her when she was little, and just I don't know. I've never felt that way doing most jobs that I have raising Mara. And I also put, I think, the social capital I've built with people. And that it felt kind of strange to say that because I feel like I don't have that many friends. I don't think like most people think about me very often. I don't like really feel like I have a very good social life at all, but I don't know. I've tried to give myself to others, and I'm hoping I get better at it, and I just make the connections I want to, and that'll pay off dividends someday. But yeah, I think those two things are my greatest accomplishment. And it was, I don't know, I made maybe like 120K in the course of like 2 or 3 years in New York City, and that was kind of rewarding because I don't know, I felt like I was helping people and making connections and serving the public. So yeah, those like 3 things. But anyway, you go.
Yeah, mine's pretty much the same. It's just motherhood. It's definitely been my greatest accomplishment in life. I had a very difficult life up until I was 16 when I fell pregnant and had my daughter. I found it very difficult to accomplish both academically and in my social life due to limitations such as my health and just my mental well-being and all of the generalized stuff that happens with school life and bullying. So I felt like a lot of my life I was failing and disappointing people. And when I fell pregnant, my family was, they had a mixture of emotions, including disappointment that I had fallen pregnant so young. But I feel like it's turned out to be my greatest accomplishment in life. And yeah, I'm just really proud of getting my daughter to the place she is now on my own, because I raised her mostly by myself up until I moved here. So, yeah.
Well, you're doing great.
Thank you.
What do you value most in a friendship? That one's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like looking at you, like waiting for you to answer. Trust. So I guess to explain that a little more, I don't know, I feel like in many friendships I've had in my life, and I'm sure many people have experienced at least one friendship where the person is very much has two sides, and that you will open up to them about a private matter, and then they'll go share it with their friends or talk negatively of you behind your back. And just being two-faced, both in a friendship and a relationship, is just very distasteful. I just don't like it. And trust is something that I appreciate hugely in a friendship, where I know that I can open up about something and they're not going to use that against me, or share it with people I'm not comfortable with them sharing it with.
Yeah, I think I also put I actually didn't put trust at all. I thought I put trust also, but and I think I put that as another answer to another question, but I would definitely add that, because without trust, like, real intimacy and friendship isn't really possible. But I put having fun and making plans and making those plans happen. I want my friends to be business partners and fun partners and change the world. So yeah, it's hard for me to just be friends with someone like for no reason. Like, I don't know, it would be weird to just like have a friend at the bar who I just drink beer with and watch baseball. Like, I mean, that's cool and all, but I feel like I want to build stuff with my friends. I want to, like, we don't even have to have most of the same common interests. We don't even have to have that much in common, but I don't want to just like be buds and sit on the couch and drink beer. Like, I want to make plans, be visionary, just make stuff happen, start businesses together. So that's really what I want from my friends. Although, if I just have pals who, I run into walking my dog. I don't have a dog yet, but we can get one soon. Then that's cool too, But to me, that's more of an acquaintance. Anyway, I want to have fun and make stuff happen. Okay. Next one is, what's your most treasured memory? So I go first, then you go.
Yeah.
It's hard to choose. I don't know. I feel like it's hard for me to access most of my memory most of the time. It's kind of like when I get in a certain emotional state, I might think of a memory that I haven't thought of for many years. What popped into my head when I was reading these questions, I don't know, when I was around 11 at sleepaway camp, I had this transcendent moment by myself on a kayak on a lake. I don't know, I didn't really like sleepaway camp. My daughter's in sleepaway camp right now, and she's told me she liked it, so I'm really happy to hear that. But yeah, I didn't really get along with other kids. I didn't like most of the activities. I was just like, I don't really want to be here. I kind of want to be playing video games. But anyway, I was on a kayak on a lake, and I don't know, I just had this probably it was 15 to 30 seconds of just peace where I just didn't, I don't know, everything was just beautiful, and I felt this peace of mind that I've never felt since then, and it was pretty cool. And then I also added that I have a lot of really good memories with Mara. Just one time at my mom's house, I was just in a really good mood, and she was in a good mood, and we didn't even really do anything special. I think I gave her a bath, and I put her to bed, and she, she just didn't really want to go to bed because she's a child, she's human, and but I was we were both in just such a relaxed mood that I just stayed up with her for hours, and I was reading to her, and then we were talking, and my mom was getting a little annoyed because it was probably 9:30, 10 by this point, or even after 10, but I don't know, we were just spending quality time together, and it was just bonding, and I don't remember how old she was, maybe 3 or 4. Anyway, that was cool. Your turn.
Oh, it's really beautiful. Well, what was the question?
What's your most treasured memory?
I'm sorry, I was appreciating your memory so much I forgot the base of the question.
That's cute, babe.
I can't read my answer.
Yeah.
My favorite memory, I feel like it's most people's favorite memory if you're a woman, but it's birth. My birth was very much extremely traumatic because I had an emergency C-section to deliver my daughter, but just having her placed on my chest for the first time and just feeling that weight of responsibility placed into my arms, and looking at her big eyes looking up at me, after 9 months of a very difficult pregnancy where I'd spent most of it alone. I was violently sick with hyperemesis gravidarum. So when she finally came out after such a difficult pregnancy, it was really, really beautiful to just have my baby in my arms finally. I just felt like I was really battling through pregnancy. I was pregnant with a broken spine, and it just really hurt. Walking really hurt. I had very bad sciatica, so I was struggling to just walk at all, and I was sick all day, every day. So it was the best time in my life when she finally was put on my chest after everything.
Aw. Yeah, I mostly just remember being terrified when Mara was born, but when she first came out, that was really cool. And I don't know, it's probably more for mothers, because it's just a continuation of the cycle, whereas for the guy you're kind of it's coming, and you're it's coming, but it's not everyday part of your every single moment experience having this inside you. So in a way it's kind of more shocking, because for a woman, you know it's there, and you know it's there, and then it's really there. But for a guy, you kind of know theoretically that it's there, but then it's like in your face, and you're like, wow, this thing's gonna live like way longer than me, like hopefully, and this thing, you know what I mean? this human creature. Although newborns are so weird. Okay. Anyway.
I'm supposed to do the next one.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what's your most terrible memory? So obviously you don't have to. You know, it could be the third, fourth, fourth time.
I'm totally comfortable with talking about my first most terrible memory. To most people, that's like if I was like to talk about my trauma, they would not expect this to be the worst. But for me, it was. So I suffered a lot with cluster headaches and migraines throughout my life. That's a whole story in itself, but it was just a case of daily suffering with headaches to a point where I couldn't leave my house, I couldn't look at the sunlight, I couldn't even hold up conversations with people, and I would act like I was having a stroke, like I couldn't talk properly, I would be missing words, couldn't pronounce things, be losing my vision. It was so bad. So I finally got put on a medication to basically, it just blocked that nerve in my brain. So again, it wasn't like the best thing to put in your body because, you know, it was stopping part of my brain from functioning, but I was debilitated by this point, so I needed it. So the doctor put me on this medication, but because I hadn't had an MRI, she said I could only take it for a maximum of 3 weeks, but it was supposed to stop my brain and restart it so that it got rid of the wiring, because cluster headaches are basically where your brain is wired to give you headaches on a daily basis. So if you take a pill to stop that, it can kind of rewire your brain into not having headaches. So I started taking this medication and it was a miracle worker, but I had to unfortunately come off it after that 3-week mark, and I really didn't think I would have a withdrawal so soon, but I came off the pill and I woke up one morning and I had barely any vision. It was the worst headache of my life. It felt like someone was compressing my brain, like so bad that I couldn't think or talk properly. And anytime I tried to move my body, like even to breathe deeper than a certain amount, I would start vomiting violently. I must have vomited about 3-4 liters within an hour. So I had my daughter at the time and she was 1.5. I'd been parenting her alone as a single mother living with my mom. And I just remember crawling through to my mom, scared out of my mind. And my mom called the ambulance and I was just kind of laying on the floor waiting for the paramedics, puking without any vision. And they monitored me and decided I had to go into hospital. And I just remember that fear, thinking that, you know, I've got a 1.5-year-old. What if I have a blood clot? I'm having a stroke, a brain tumor. And I just remembered that, you know, those 8 hours in hospital felt like days and weeks whilst I was being medicated and treated. But just that one migraine, it was the worst experience of my entire life.
So you still get migraines now?
Yes, but this was a withdrawal migraine,
right.
So.
But it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be before you. So you took the medication and then it helped, but then you went off of it and you got that one really bad migraine. And did you keep getting migraines after that, or? Yeah,
so I still have cluster headaches. So that means for about a month out of each year, I'll have a headache all day, every day, and I'll be debilitatingly unwell. You haven't experienced it yet.
Well, I experienced one of your really bad headaches.
Yeah, but that's not cluster headaches. Cluster headaches are like that, but all day, every day for weeks.
Holy, how do you function and take care of Chloe?
I'm lying down and then crawling around the room trying to get her stuff and to change her diaper with my eyes closed, basically.
And you've had that once a year since when was this experience?
I've had it up to 4 times a year for weeks at a time, which is why I was on this medication, because I could not take care of Chloe.
So if you take this medication again, like right away, will it help? But then when you have to go off of it, so is it worth it to go on it ever again?
It's not worth it, because coming off it was the worst experience of my life.
Right.
I don't know, I haven't had cluster headaches since that episode. It happened 1 year, 4 days ago today, so...
Okay, well, if you have them, just let me know what I can do. I'll contact your mom and But I don't know. I would like to help you. I don't know anything about headaches.
It's okay.
I mean, I used to get headaches when I was a kid, but not like that. And I think it was because I was dehydrated. I never drank water as a kid. I just drank milk. And
should we talk about this after the video?
Oh, that's your list. What am I doing? Oh yeah, my most terrible memory. I don't know how much detail I necessarily want to go into here, but I went to this crazy boarding school called DeSisto. It's since closed. They weren't closed by the state, but they were closed under a lot of pressure because there was a lot of abuse going on at this school for really decades, but especially in the 90s and early 2000s, from what I understand. And well, from being there, but obviously, from what I understand, like most of the bad stuff happened between 90s and early 2000s when they were shut down. But I don't know how much I want to get into on YouTube, but I wrote a whole college paper on this school. I could probably write hundreds of pages about this school and just all the rules and the weird psychology, and I don't know, it was kind of like Lord of the Flies combined with like authoritarianism at the same time. But it was basically the dorms were all separate, and most of the time, not even half the time, most of the time you couldn't communicate with people in other dorms. You know, and the boys in the girls' dorms could like almost never communicate, and I was kind of getting demoted to a lower dorm, to the lowest possible dorm, which is called the farm, where you're just totally isolated from the rest of campus. You don't get to go to school. Teachers come to you anyway. And I was in this they were having a meeting about expelling me from my dorm to like throw me on the farm. And I was like in the corner because that's like one of the punishments. They like you have to sit in the corner, face the wall. You're not allowed to look at anybody, talk to anybody. If you like turn around and look, you have to like write pages, like a page. You have to just write. And if you like try to get out of the corner, they'll literally tackle you and like throw you back in the corner.
They did that to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of. It's crazy that there's still these psycho schools out there, but it was really big, like the troubled teen industry, it's called, and it was big in like the 1990s. I actually read an article about Paris Hilton went to like some crazy school like that. I mean, you know, like a lot of people could look at her and be like, oh, she's like the picture of privilege, she's in the Hilton family, she's rich, she's like never suffered, but I don't know. She's definitely suffered from what I've read of her account. Anyway, so I was in the corner and I'm like, wait a minute, fuck this. Like, they're literally talking about me literally behind my back, expelling me from the dorm, talking about, you know, this bad shit I supposedly did and why they're gonna expel me. So I'm like, no, I have to participate. And I like got up out of the corner to like turn around and go sit on the couches like around me. It's like I don't remember how big the room is, a little bigger than this. There's just couches all around and I'm on like a little plastic orange chair in the corner. And I'm just like, hey, listen, I should have a say. I should at least get to like have some kind of closure and response to the criticism of me. And you know, like, it's kind of like you're in a courtroom and people are just saying all this stuff about you and you can't defend yourself. And so I like got up to like go sit, like to go join the group, and they're like, no. And they basically just took me, like slammed me against the wall and like wouldn't let me participate. And then like I got up again and like this happened again, and then they zip tied me my wrist, and they like literally put a towel in my mouth so like I couldn't talk, and like I was struggling, so it was like bloody. And then in the end, you know, they all said their stuff. This one guy was like, yeah, this reminds me of like being in the mental hospital. It's like a little triggering for me, like to see someone else get abused is just crazy, like that he made it about himself. Anyway, so then I don't know, I just kind of remember it felt really surreal. I was just like, you know, they like unrestrained me, and I was just like walking down the hall, and like, you know, they were like transferring me to the other dorm, and you'd think I would be like filled with rage and like want to be like hitting the people who did this to me and like full of violence, but it was almost kind of like all the life was just drained out of me, and it was just like, I don't know, not like reading psychological text now. It's like, I guess that's a symptom of trauma where you're like kind of outside of your body looking in, like, and you don't really have any emotion. And yeah, I just remember, just walking down the hall with like the staff member. I don't even know if a staff member was present when this happened, because again, it was like, to save money, the school would just hire like other students to like kind of be the guard and be like responsible. But so I don't know, for all I know, there was a kid like 2 years older than me who was in charge of this whole scenario. But yeah, I was just walking down the hall and yeah, just feeling very like out of my body. And then I noticed over the course of like the next few months, like everyone who's involved in that incident like was gone. Like 2 kids ran away, 2 kids got withdrawn by their parents, and then yeah, just a few months later, there was no one there anymore who like knew what happened, and I was the only one. And like, obviously that was traumatic, and part of me was like, good, all those kids are gone, like anyone who witnessed that is like gone and not here anymore, so like nobody really knows what happened to me. But yeah, it was just weird. It was a weird experience. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff like that happened both to me and that I witnessed happen to other people in that place. But that's the thing that stood out the most. So anyway, moving right along. If you knew in 1 year that you would die suddenly, what would you change anything about the way you were living, and why? And yeah, of course I would change a lot of things. I'd make sure Amara would have things to remember me by. I would have a lot more experiences with her. Yeah, and I pretty much spend all my money to like do things with her and have experiences with her. That would be my number one focus, and with you too, and with my mom, and whoever wanted to. Like, if I knew I had a year to die and I told people, like, it would be kind of a good way to test your friends. Like, they would either make time to come spend time with me, or they wouldn't. And whoever would come, I would be happy to have them. And yeah, but I would mostly focus on Mara, just because, if this were to happen recently, she's still so young, and she wouldn't have me for the rest of her life. So I'd want to give her everything I could, and I think she'd be more receptive to it if she knew I was going to die in a year. So she'd probably try to take on as much as she could from me. Yeah.
You might want to emphasize that's your daughter and not me to anyone that's new watching this, because you're like rubbing me and saying Mara, but I don't know who Mara is. So.
Oh yeah, no, Mara's my daughter.
Yeah, I just remember to always emphasize that.
This is Layla. Oh yeah, that could be. Yeah, if someone just caught a glimpse, yeah, that would.
Yeah, just make sure to emphasize that, but that's not a problem.
I never would have thought of that in a million years, but that just shows the society we live in, unfortunately. So yeah. My daughter's Mara. This is Layla. She's my baby, but not my baby. So weird. Okay, your turn.
Yeah, very much similar answer. I'd be setting my daughter up as much as I can. It'd be very difficult because my daughter's only 2.5, and to think that she'd lose me at 3.5 would be heartbreaking. Yet at the same time, I've kind of had that planned in my head, set up, just because I suffer from a chronic disease, and I'm sick a lot of my life, so I've already considered all of this, and my plans for what I would do if I was gonna die. So I'd make sure my daughter was properly set up for the next few years, and hopefully longer than that. That's my main priority, and I would try and make a personalized goodbye to everyone in my life, the important people, whether it's writing a letter or just telling them stuff I want them to take with them. yeah, just make sure that I say what I want to say before I'm gone. Yeah.
So hopefully you won't see a YouTube video of us in a week. Be like, we both have a year to live.
What's the next question?
Oh yeah, this is the one I was thinking of earlier. What does friendship mean to you? I feel like they asked this one already, but they phrased it slightly differently.
I don't know. I mean, friendship's a fairly important thing in my life, as with anything. Well, not as with anything, but friendships and relationships and all that stuff. Yeah, it's important to me. So, yeah, I don't know. There's just not a lot to say specifically on that question.
Yeah, I feel like you already answered it before. This is, remember when you said trust was important quality for a friend? So here I put trust first. And I pretty much said what I said before for the other things. Trust, fun, similar goals, and supporting each other. That's, I don't know, those are the main components of friendship to me. Yeah, I feel like similar goals is not necessarily important to most people, like to some people with their friendship, but I don't know, to me that's up there along with trust and having fun, obviously. What roles do love and affection play in your life? Just put, I'm a very affectionate person and I like to receive it back. And most of my childhood, especially adolescence, I felt like almost zero affection from anyone, and now that I'm an adult, I really enjoy it. And I'd say that's the hardest part of being single is, yeah, even more than sex, although obviously that's very important, but just, just the affection and, coziness and nurturance that I give and receive from another person. It's, that's what I miss. So it's very important to me, yeah.
Yeah, I think I answered like my questions wrong. So, what was the previous question?
The previous questions was friendship.
Oh, see, I said like it was important to me, like have friendship in my life, but I meant to answer this question saying that it was important to me. Like
have love and affection in your life.
They were
so you read the wrong thing.
I read the wrong thing.
I thought that was a weird answer about the friendship.
Yeah, no, I got confused.
Yeah.
So for the friendship, I meant what's important in a friendship for me is that someone is caring and strives to be helpful and supportive and offer those traits. And then I was trying to say that for this
what does love and affection mean to you?
I mean, they play a big role in my life. I mean, they're important, but I feel like I've touched on them in other questions and in the questions to come. So I'm not going to touch on that too much again, but yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items.
So is this me to answer first?
Yeah. So just go back and forth. These could be short because it's like 5 things.
Well, I really admire Tony's drive for accomplishing things that he feels passionate about. It's very inspirational how when Tony's motivated and enjoys doing something, whether it's writing or working out or, chess or just a variety of things, it's very admirable how he has a drive to be successful in those areas. It's very aspirational. And another one is his honesty. I really admire Tony's honesty and appreciate it, especially in our relationship. He's very honest with me, and that's a very important thing in a relationship. Thirdly, Tony is a great listener. I've never felt so heard when talking about things. I can open up about things in multiple areas in my life, including traumatic things, and I know that he's there to listen, and I go unjudged, and I really appreciate it. And the fourth one is I love Tony's sense of humor. He always manages to make me laugh, even on my grumpiest days when I want to cry, and he always brings a smile to my face. And finally, for the 5th one, I really admire how supportive Tony is. He's always there to offer me support when I'm feeling down and in the grumps.
Aw.
I'm shy.
No, that was beautiful. I put that you're sweet and kind, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like kindness is like trendy now. People wear shirts like "Be kind," but I don't know. I feel like Alexa thought I spoke to her.
No, it was my phone. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. I don't know. I just feel like that can't be overstated. The importance of kindness, and that's also what most couples rate that they're looking for as a partner, men and women. It's like usually first place, and I got it and I appreciate it. And I put positive because Layla's been through so much adversity, and she just has like just a very positive attitude. And I don't know, I feel like I've been through my struggles, but I feel like not as much as her. And I'm just just so much of my day I'm just like grumpy, and I'm like, oh, I'm in pain, I'm like, I have to deal with this, I have to deal with that. And she's just so much more positive than me, and it just makes me want to be more positive and grateful. And we both get grumpy and joke around and tease each other, but I don't know, she just has a really positive attitude, and it just makes me want to be more that way. And I put honest because I don't know, when we started talking from the very beginning, before we even met, it's just she was just like putting it out there. She wasn't like sugarcoating it, and it just made me want to just like open up. And I don't know, I just feel like we've just been doing that since. And not just honest, like not telling me lies, but just just telling me straight up how she feels, good and bad, and not playing games with each other at all. And I just put sexy, playful, because she's just I don't know, sexy could be its whole own category, but I don't know, just like playful and fun, and so nice. And I put growth oriented. I just feel like you want to learn and you want to improve yourself, and you really want to understand stuff. Educate yourself, not to like appear smart to others, but to understand and be best able to take care of yourself and your daughter and me and the YouTube community, whoever.
Oh, so lovely.
I put, how close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most people's? I guess I'll go first because I went last. Yeah, my family's not a very warm and cozy family. I mean, we had our bonding. I used to play cards with my mom and dad, and yeah, but I never felt too like cozy with them in particular. I mean, I have certain memories, positive memories. Yeah. And yeah, I think in general my childhood was fairly unhappy. Again, I had my moments of being happy, and it could have been much worse. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy my childhood that much. But I mean, I have some good memories here and there, and positive things I learned and whatnot. And yeah, other people had much worse, so I'm grateful for it. So okay, how close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
Oh no, my family is very much cold, and my childhood was a complete shit show. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't put it any lighter than that.
We're gonna leave that one there. Well, you're gonna have to answer a little more. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
It's complicated. me and my mother hold a lot of resentment for each other from the past, and I went through a lot outside of my relationship with my mother, but she struggled to accept it. And she just chose to believe that a lot of the stuff I went through didn't happen because it was too much for her to handle. But at the same time, whenever I was sick, my mom was my greatest support, and she was the one that would take care of me and feed me soup in bed even when I was 16 and pregnant and couldn't walk. So me and my mom have a bit of a love-hate relationship, but at the end of the day, she's like my biggest hero in my life, and I definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mom.
Yeah, I love my mom. I resent her a lot. She does her best to elaborate. Yeah, I love my mother. I feel like she made a lot of bad decisions in regards to my welfare when I was a child. But, she was really doing her best, and she was very uncomfortable with me. And, I wasn't the easiest kid. Didn't really get along in school. I don't know. I like to think I was pretty respectful son, but yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, my family and I didn't get along too great. But I have a lot of gratitude for my mom. She did the best she could. She instilled in me a love of reading, and she did her best. She'd gone through her own experiences that made her the way she is, and she's been really good with my daughter. I think she always wanted a girl, and now she has one. So, yeah, I feel like she's learned. I think, I don't know, obviously, what it's like to be a grandparent, but I think from what I've heard, being a grandparent is much easier and more fun than being a parent. You've kind of learned your lessons with your own kids, and you can just be more giving with your grandkids. So I love my mom, and I doubt she'll see this, so that's probably good. But yeah, my mom's great. She's 80 years old. She's in good health, and hopefully she'll be around for a long time and can have more experiences with her, because she's pretty fun. She has a good sense of humor sometimes.
Sweet.
Okay, well that was really long. That was way longer than the first one even.
Came out at 42 minutes, but
Right.
Make sure to click on the next video, which you'll find on the channel or
On
next
the,
to it,
on the
below
side,
it,
probably.
somewhere in this vicinity.
Depends on your settings.
Yeah, but thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and we'll see you in part 3.
Yeah, 12 more.